First startup here is Spowdi. They are based here in Sweden. They were founded in 2016. The company focuses on developing solar-powered water distribution systems. The company holds a worldwide patent on a new technology that uses compressed air instead of rotating impellers to move water. The benefit of this unique technology is that the system is robust, energy efficient, lightweight, and mobile. It can build enough pressure to run a drip irrigation system for a 1-acre farm. The power consumption is max 95 watts, which means a small solar panel is all you need. Let's watch their film.
We are a Swedish and Indian engineering company. We have developed a unique mobile solar power water distribution system to empower smallhold farming.
We have developed a solution that enables you to grow more food without using any more of our Earth's resources. The food not only grows quicker, but is also of a higher quality. In addition, with our solution, farmers will be able to save 80% of the water normally used when irrigating crops. And since the sun is the only power source, it's all emission-free and without dependencies to grid power or expensive diesel. Seeing is believing is a statement we often run into. That is one of the reasons we decided to establish a concept that we call Spowdi Smart Farming. In Bangalore, we showcase what we mean by this. On our 1-acre farm, we've been able to produce 25% more food in just 2/3 of the time, using just a small solar panel as only power source. These results translate directly into increased earnings for the farmers. As you know, time is of the essence. Securing the food production chain is urgent.
In our factory in Bangalore, we have a production capacity of more than 1,000 systems per month. We are ready to roll out the system, also the concept smart farming, into the Indian landscape and also globally. We invite anyone that would like to join us on our journey, empowering people to produce more food with no emission and also saving water.
Thank you, Spowdi. And now we will have the startup from India, Aloe eCell. Aloe eCell is co-founder by Nimisha Verma and Naveen Suman, is a globally recognized world's first 100% eco-friendly batteries making company. So can we have their film now, please?
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone. This is Naveen Suman.
And this is Nimisha Verma from Aloe eCell Private Limited. Talking about the problems we face in India are...
So 97% of the material used in dry cell batteries are imported from different countries, which levies a high pressure of $148 billion on Indian economy.
Also, the batteries are removed when 20 to 30% of its potential is still left. As a result, when thrown into dustbins, they end up into landfills, causing a lot of air, water, and soil pollution, and also entering into our food chains, causing a lot of diseases like kidney, heart, and liver diseases. So, what's the solution? Should we stop using these batteries?
Of course, no. So we at Aloe eCell have created world's first 100% eco-friendly and non-hazardous 1.5 volt AA battery using aloe vera.
These aloe vera batteries are an alternative to the deadly hazardous dry cell batteries we have been using since ages in our remote controls, clocks, toys, flashlights, etc. And the best part is that these batteries are available at 10% lesser cost and 1.5 times more durability.
These batteries not only provide a healthy landfill-free environment, but will also boost our Indian economy by providing an extra source of income.
And will also promote batteries which are made in India using 100% local resources. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Aloe Cell. And I think now I would like to hand this over to Arti Davis from Sweden India Business Council. You're the Vice President. And you will also be moderating this session now, which is the Indian-Sweden Energy Partnership. So
thank you very
over
much,
to you.
Sanju.
Thank you.
And welcome to our online audience for the first panel discussion of the day. It's the India-Sweden Innovations Accelerator, or as the Inner Circle call it, ISEA. ISEA was started in 2010 and is led by the Swedish Energy Agency in collaboration with Business Sweden and the Confederation of Indian Industries. On the panel today, we have Ludvig Lindström sitting in the middle, Senior Business Developer for the Swedish Energy Agency and Manager for India Collaborations. Olov Hemström, Global Head of Ecosystems, Smart Energy and Smart Transportation for Business Sweden. And at the edge, we have Henrik Eriksson from Spowdi, who's the CEO of Spowdi, whose video you just saw. On the screen, we have Mr. Venkatagiri from Confederation of Indian Industries and Ganesh, and we see you now, from Tata Power Incubation Center. We want to start today by asking everyone to introduce yourselves to the audience, who you are, who you work for, and why ISEA is something you're part of. Olov, I'm going to start with you.
Thank you very much, Arti. Fantastic to be here on this really interesting and also important subject. My name is Olov Hemström, I work for Business Sweden. Business Sweden is owned 50% by the government and 50% basically by all Swedish companies. So our main mission is, of course, to support Swedish companies to grow abroad and also to attract strategic investments back to Sweden. And our role in this is to work very closely, of course, with our partners here, to support the Swedish companies, to connect in India, to really support the sustainable development in both India and Sweden. And I think that's really something that we need to take here. I think in Sweden we have a really strong innovative stage. We are top ranking in innovation. We are the second biggest unicorn factory, and energy is one of our main sectors. Basically, that is something we want to bring to India out of several reasons. One, of course, India is one of the biggest markets on a global level and strong growing, and also not as set and solid as the Swedish market, so much more vital and much more interesting to innovate in. Also, of course, given the size, it's also the third biggest CO2 emitter globally. And of course, we want to be there to do good. And we know also India, we have a great collaboration already, strong, really strong knowledge, and really strong innovative collaboration partners. So hence, we have had this collaboration for 7 years now, and I think it's one of the best working collaborations on a global level. I hope we get time to discuss that further.
Great, Olaf, thank you so much. I'll move to Ludvig next. With the Swedish Energy Agency, ISEA started with you and you found your team. Tell us what ISEA is to you and what you feel the value is for it.
First, a few words about who we are and coming down to why we do this. We're a government authority responsible for implementation of a sustainable energy system in Sweden and in collaboration with global networks. As an authority working to promote green energy, our work covers everything from policy, statistics, advisory services, and so on. And we also have responsibility for actions under the Paris Agreement. If you follow the money, we're the largest funder of energy-related research in Sweden. But Sweden is not an island. Of course, as I said, global networks. And we also work with a few selected countries, and India being one of them. We've been working there since 2009. And the idea with this program is to bridge contacts between Sweden and India, identify, select Swedish companies of relevance for the Indian market, identify, select Indian companies of relevance for collaborations with innovative companies and learn more about these technologies. We try to support them in teaming up to develop new solutions. So in essence, what this India-Sweden Innovation Accelerator is all about is to try to bridge and facilitate the whole innovation chain, from research, innovation to commercialization and international collaborations. And we're looking forward to actually expand that in India and find new opportunities for innovation collaborations.
Great, Ludvig, thank you so much. And to close the circle of your team for ASEA, I go now to Mr. Venkatagiri, who is online, working for the Confederation of Indian Industries Green Building Center in Hyderabad. Giri, please tell us about your experience of ASEA and what CII is doing.
Thank you, Arti. Pleasure and privilege to be part of this program and this initiative. My name is Venkatagiri. I am from the CII Green Business Center located at Hyderabad. We aspire to be a center of excellence working in areas of energy, green buildings, and climate change activities. The Green Business Center building where I am speaking to you from is one of the first green buildings in India. And very recently, it has become a net zero building. And we are privileged to be part of this Indo-Sweden Innovation Accelerator. And when I say the building has become a net zero building, it has been made possible because of one of the innovative companies from Sweden, Solkraft, who had implemented their solar PV modules in the Green Business Center. This is one initiative where I had the privilege of being involved right from the very beginning, along with Ludvig and Business Sweden. And we are extremely happy that this has progressed over a period of time. And I would look forward to working with you in future. The opportunities are very high. Thank you, Arti. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Giri. And of course, the purpose of ASEA is to reach the market. And to reach the market, you have to know what the market needs. We have with us today Dr. Das from Tata Incubation Center. Dr. Das, of course, is coming from Tata Power DDL previously. You are the voice of the market on this panel today. Dr. Das, tell us about your collaboration and ASEA.
Thank you, Arti. And it has been a real pleasure dealing with the Swedish Energy Agency, Business Sweden, and the companies out of Sweden. So it has been quite some time, and we have the privilege of experiencing the four of them, in the sense that we could really translate or give an opportunity for all of us to really look at these technologies and make sure that what kind of value it brings to the customer. I think it's been a great experience for us. And what I do here in Tata Power DDL is I head the collaboration, innovation, and R&D. R&D is the latest kind of a definition we have started putting for us, because what we realized is it's very important to really keep on looking at new technology, and that is going to be what is going to be the key thing which is going to drive the business value in the future. We can, of course, in the area of distribution or energy sector, people will be mentioning a lot of challenges, but what we feel is there is a solution which exists through these corporations and through this kind of a combinations of new companies, new innovation, startups to really address a challenge and probably define a new business model. I think that is where we are striving for. And while we were translating this journey, I work with more than 150 different collaborating companies and partners, academic institutions across the world. And this is not the vendors who are supplying us technology. This is purely a kind of a joint cooperation and collaboration. So, and this has also given us an extension to really look and create another kind of a organization called Clean Energy International Incubation Center, which is a joint initiative of Government of India and TataTrusts. And I head that organization as a CEO, and we have got 25 startups in the area of clean energy already as our cohort. And we look forward to this cooperation with Sweden, and we hope that this will take us to different level to address the challenge. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Das. And of course, speaking about new innovation startups and the opportunity that this program brings, I turn to Henrik. Last but not least, Henrik is a member of the ASEA program, and you watched his startup pitch right before we started this panel. Henrik, over to you.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, I would like to put the ASEA in the space of being a Swedish, quite young company with a unique technology, trying to reach out on a global market. To be able to do that, of course, you need friends and you need partners. I would say that the ISEA program is a great example on how the global goals, sustainable goals, actually can be transformed into concrete actions. It's about connecting countries, companies, and people. Just give me an example from our point of view. Our company, we sits on this technology, and we was invited to be part of the Innovation Accelerator program a couple of years ago. In that program, I met with the Confederation of Indian Industry. I met with Business Sweden and the energy agency, Swedish energy agency, introduced us to these organizations. And the progress for our company could be explained in some concrete examples. One example is, for example, when we met the first time we were in India, we met with several companies. One company was of very importance to us since we are working with solar energy. We need a solar panel manufacturer as a partner. We met this company in Bangalore through the ISEA program. And we have been working quite close with this company since then. And last year, in December, we inaugurated our Indian joint venture, which is a co-owned company based in Bangalore, owned by us and this partner that was introduced from the program in 2016. In fact, we have been in India now for 3 years. We have been meeting several hundreds of interesting people, many organizations, public, top officials, down to specialists in different areas. And 80% of our existing contacts are still is a result of being part of the ISEA program. So when entering a new market, I think it's important to have some sort of handle to hold on to. And this program, I really hope that more companies from Sweden and otherwise will take part of the opportunity to be part of this program. You will make friends for life. You will make business relations that you can grow and scale your own business within. So I would say the uniqueness of this program could be described in just 2 words. It's hands-on.
Henrik, thank you very much for that strong support for the ISEA program. And with that, we get into the discussion part of the panel. Now, on Sunday, Prime Minister Modi was talking about climate change, and you touched upon the global commitments that we all have. And he talked about not working in silos, but working in collaboration and with partnership. And it seems like ISEA is checking a lot of those boxes. But how would you say, now I talk to the ISEA team, your program, your results, your formulation, your composition is actually aligning with the larger framework of climate change, the global goals, and the Paris Agenda? With that, I'm going to ask Ludvig from the Energy Agency to start with the answers.
Thank you, Artie. First of all, I want to highlight the strongest assets for this program that, in my view, and that is the team. We're talking about the Business Sweden office, Trade Commissioner's office. We're talking about CII-GBC in Hyderabad. Without this team, we would never be able to do this. And then we also have some very strong associated friends, if you want to call it that, like Tata Power DDL, but there are several others as well. Now, bringing this up to the level of the Paris Agenda and so on, collaborations and this kind of teams are the absolute critical thing we need to have in order to push things forward. And I would say, as an example, all these companies that we bring to the Indian market, they're not selected based on a specific team or technology area or sector. They are selected because they are relevant for the Indian market. Thereby, it makes it easier for us to support them to team up with Indian counterparts. All in all, we have introduced some 50 companies to the market. 25% of these companies are still active in different kind of collaborations. And as of today, we're looking at some 130 projects, collaboration projects with Swedish and Indian partners, ranging from pilots to commercial partnerships. And with that, I would like to say that what these projects actually are doing, they are contributing, all of them, in different ways, be that biogas, be that power quality or something else. All of them will contribute to better climate performance.
Great, thank you. And with that, I'm actually going to go to Giri online. Giri, now we heard, of course, in the press that Climate Tracker has put out a report last week saying that India is leading the way in the G20 in terms of meeting its carbon emissions. And of course, that says that India's taken a strong leadership in this discussion. How do you feel that the ISEA program aligns to the larger framework of commitments the country has made?
Yeah, thank you, Aarti. I think India has made some significant progress in our climate change goals, but there are more goals to be peaked. More peaks to be scaled up. So we have a long way to go. Having said that, I'm perfectly in alignment with what Ludvig mentioned. One, the Indo-Swedish Innovation Accelerator program is perfectly aligned with the national goals of India. The second, innovation is a key component, which the Prime Minister also spoke about. Innovation and collaboration is a key component, and in this way, the Innovation Accelerator program is perfectly fitting in with the overall goals. Thirdly, we also have a perfect or a near perfect partnership in terms of Swedish Energy Agency, Business Sweden, and the Indian industry through CII. I think this partnership is also working extremely well, complementing each other in terms of strengths. And fourthly, whatever Ludvig alluded to this, whatever companies which have been brought in through the ISII, Indo-Sweden Innovation Accelerator program over the period have been found to be extremely relevant. Every one of them, we found a lot of interest amongst the Indian companies. Not only interest, they solve a very specific problem for the Indian climate change challenge. So I would say the initial pilots have been extremely attractive. The discussions have gone off extremely well. We had an example of a joint venture being set up in India. I would say that this collaboration has shown to be a very useful facilitator for solving the climate change problems of India. And I think the potential to scale up in future. Whatever successes we have seen, I think it's an indication of a larger contribution to being made in future for solving the climate change problems of the country. I see enormous amount of potential in this, Aarti. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Giri, and that's good to hear. Basically, this is the start for a long-term collaboration. And with that, I actually turn to Olov and your perspectives on how this all fits into the larger discussion.
Thank you. I think a lot has already been said. And one is, of course, to be concrete and hands-on, like Henrik also pointed out. And we can have big visions. We started with an MOU between India and between Sweden in the energy field. Now we're down into concrete results on the ground with these 150 projects running. I think we met around 800 Indian companies at least. Henrik, you boosted it up, so I think we need to upgrade that figure. And of course, also working hands-on both in Sweden. That's how we set it up. We work a lot with the Swedish companies based in Sweden, but also very hands-on together with our partners all over India. I think we have a great spread. It's not only New Delhi, it's all over. And as also Ludvig says here, it's the right sectors. We are addressing generation with biogas, POV biogas, for instance. We're addressing the need for, of course, strong power quality with Hemström and other companies working tightly to make the system ready for the new renewable energy. And of course, with energy efficient solutions like Spowdi is a great example of that. So I think we're really on top of that of things, and I think we need to continue to reconnect. We have a lot of large Swedish companies investing in innovation R&D in Sweden, and we actually also have some really good investments from India to Sweden to help us in also our transmission. And I think that collaboration, both hands-on with the small companies, the startup, and then connect to the large companies will still be the key to succeed.
And actually that brings us to our next question, which was actually to Henrik. Now, you've touched upon in the beginning some of the values the program brings for members like Spowdi. But of course, you're dealing with a very diverse market. Olov touched upon that, with many demands in different areas. How do you create a product that's fit for market within ASEA, and what should they replicate and continue as they move forward?
Well, let me put it like this. There are about 500 million smallhold farmers in the world, globally. And that is, I think many of you know that already. But how many knows that these group of people actually are the one that produce 70% of all food that we consume globally? Their life is not that easy. Many are giving up their farming life, moving to cities to try to find a better future for themselves or for the kids. So when you are an engineering company, you need to think on a solution that actually is something that will be recognized globally, not only for the user group, but also for all of us. And we are working on a technology to save and help the production of food for the future. And going into India, why? Why are we focusing on India? Well, because there are many reasons for that. But of these 500 million farmers, 136 million of those lives in India. So what we have done as an engineering company, we have tried to develop a product, a toolkit for these farmers to have a better future for them and their kids, earn more money. They will not be depending on like infrastructure and all of that. That has to be from the society implemented. This is a standalone product and solution. So who is the target group for us? Well, they are the focus group, but the target group for us is politicians, big companies that would like to help small companies like smallhold farmers to have a better future. So by saying that, India is a country with a strong growing economy. And we see lots of government initiatives going on in India. And we can generate, I think, quite big, huge, good results in quite short time frame if we concentrate. So that is the reason for us being in India. They want to do things. They understand it's needed. And they are eager to learn. And we are there to learn from their needs and how to generate the result that could be spread throughout the world. So our market will be bigger because of the result generated in a market that is visible like India.
Henrik, thanks so much. And I think we lead very well into the last question. You have a country, like you say, that's growing economically. Per capita incomes are increasing. As a result, energy demand is increasing. All solutions are welcome, energy efficiency and renewable energy. There is no question about the fact that ASEA should scale and grow, but how should it scale and what should it look at while it grows? And for that, I want to turn to CII and Giri to say, what do you think ASEA needs to do as we look forward to the next 10 years?
Okay. Arti, to just give you an example, we started with the green building movement in India in the year 2003. In 2003, we had a green building footprint of about 20,000 square feet. Right now, India has got about 7.5 billion square feet of green buildings coming up all over the country. So even the 7.5 billion is only about 7 or 8% of the total buildings which are being built all over the country. So India is a country where the potential and market size is extremely high, number one. Number two, the market size is huge and the market challenges are also huge and different. Having said that, now we have had some successes as far as Indo-Sweden Innovation Accelerator program is concerned. We have been able to bring in newer innovations to India, and these innovations have proven to be very effective. Some collaborations have taken place. A joint venture has been initiated. Having said that, now this 150 companies has to be made into 150,000 companies. There is a need to scale up. One. Number two, we have to look at different models for scaling up, and all the models could work. Thirdly, India is a price-sensitive country. There is a need to bring down the overall cost, like what has been done in terms of the solar PV modules. The costs have come down substantially. Now solar PV generation is comparable or much better than the fossil fuel generation. So more needs to be done, different models to be tried up. The costs have to be brought down by scaling up and also perhaps indigenizing in India. There has been a good involvement of industry. We need to, CII itself has to work in so that more and more industries are brought in. There is a need to also bring in some financing. The companies which are, the innovative companies which are coming into India, they are not large companies. They are small ones who are wanting to scale up. We need to support them in terms of facilitating finance. These are some opportunities which I see. I see enormous potential. There's a need to scale up, and we should look at multiple models for scaling up. Bringing down the costs, facilitating finance could be some of the opportunities which we should look at.
Thank you,
CII
Giri.
would be very glad to partner in this activity. Thank you.
With that, I'm going to turn to Dr. Ganesh Das. You've heard the internal architecture, the comments from Business Sweden, from the Energy Agency, from CII. You've heard Spowdi as a member of the program talk about what they'd like to see. I leave the closing words to you. As the market, with your finger on the pulse of what's happening in India, what should ASEA look to do? What do you want to see from this program in the next 10 years?
Thanks, Ati. And I feel, if you look at electricity or the energy sector today, it is getting redefined. Why I make a mention it is getting redefined is now you talk about clean cooking also as a part of the energy sector. We look at electricity coming in and playing a role to improve clean cooking. And the clean cooking has been probably one area which has not been significantly improved since a very long time. A lot of work has been done. So another dimension which I will talk about is the point which Henrik had made. You are talking about not only looking at energy, but also, improving the livelihood of a section of a customer. So what it's happening is electricity is fast expanding to the space of livelihood and making improvements at the ecosystem level rather than only at the application level. And what does electricity do? Electricity on its own does not do anything. It requires appliances, it requires equipment, it requires industry, it requires commercial establishment, it requires a domestic customer, the schools, colleges to really translate the use of electricity into something of value to the society. So therefore, what is very important to see is how does this value chain of electricity, which touches so many, rather everyone in the ecosystem, and what are the technology or what are the different kind of an application use cases one could build in. Now, I'll give you a classical example of a large company. Suppose Tata Power set to develop a new technology, we would have a challenge of agility, structure, and everything. And what we are looking for is a startup, new companies like something like I remember discussion with Henrik since a long time, and now we are also going to have discussion. Tata Power is also having a discussion with Henrik on the technology part. So what is happening is it is translating the entire ecosystem. So we need to really look at companies to come in as you want me to stop, Aarti?
Sorry, no, we have about 20 seconds.
Okay, right. So what we are looking for is, this program should continue as Ludwig has mentioned, the right appropriate company for the Indian context. But I would probably go one step more. Recently we had a discussion with a lot of Swedish companies. We don't mind looking at some of the technologies which you feel may not be for the Indian context, because we are also in the process to understand how we can change the entire ecosystem. So maybe we should be also in a position to tell that, that you may not be having an application in India now, but we can potentially have this company coming in and, probably discovering some more new applications. So what I would suggest is this should go on, and possibly the partnership should extend not only from the energy, but entirely probably looking at the application of electricity in a much broader way. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Das. And we'd ask the audience to stay with us because we move now to the first one-on-one that we have with the DG of the Swedish Energy Agency and Håkan Kingstedt, the chairman of Swedish India Business Council, to continue the discussions and the points that we've raised here today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for a very interesting panel on the India-Sweden Innovation Accelerator. Echoing on what has been said here, co-creation and partnership will continue to be the need of the day to move forward between Sweden and India. As being the chairman for Sweden-India Business Council, on behalf of the all organizers today, I'm very happy and pleased to welcome Mr. Robert Andrén, the Director General of the Swedish Energy Agency.
Thank you.
Robert, the agency has been working in India for more than 10 years, and with your accelerator program, and it's a very good, strong example for how the agency have been building networks together with partners and creating competences. How do you see this work being done in India contribute to the agency's overall mandate?
Well, I think it contributes very much for many reasons. One reason is that research, innovation, commercialization and export promotion of clean tech innovations is a cornerstone in our work. And this is also a cornerstone in our collaboration with India. And the fact that we have some 50 companies being introduced to the Indian market among the several hundreds of companies that we have supported throughout the years in various ways, I think that could be seen as should be seen as a minor success, actually. And our collaboration with India has also been a model for how we have structured our collaboration in other export key markets. So I think that for us it has been a very, very important and beneficial. And I hope that we can deepen the collaboration in the future.
Excellent. That's interesting because that means that you have utilized the possibilities in the India groundworks to develop a kind of model for you.
Yeah.
Is that your conclusion as well?
Yes, indeed. And I've seen it with my own eyes in the delegation we had in India in December, which was a fantastic experience in many ways.
Good, thank you. The last year has been a game changer. Many have called it a circuit breaker. But we know that many of the changes we have to make in our lives are here to stay. For the agency, how do you see this new normal?
Well, I mean, the new normal in a way, I mean, clean energy transition started well before the pandemic. So I think that what we need to do is to keep pushing it. And we do see, I'm glad to see that the private investments that we in clean tech is actually have increased during the pandemic. It's not enough, more needs to be done, but still it's a very positive thing that we see now. And although the pandemic is truly troublesome and worrying in many ways, we need to see and seize the opportunities that lies also in this crisis for a clean energy transition. I think that's key to have that kind of attitude in this question, because it would be ludicrous to address the pandemic with measures that actually accelerates another huge and perhaps even more devastating global crisis, the climate change. So we need to be able to deal with the pandemic with means that also accelerate the clean energy transition. And the new normal would be, I hope and believe, that we speed up the market introduction of clean energy innovations and create a much deeper collaboration with the business community.
What do we need to do to move forward now from your perspective?
Well, the way forward, as I see it, it is about cross-border cooperation. Now, I mean, no country, no government, no municipality, no enterprise can deal with neither the corona pandemic nor the climate challenge in splendid isolation. So it's cross-border challenges require cross-border solutions that requires cross-border co-creation. So We will continue to build on what we have achieved so far in close collaboration with the European Commission and other progressive EU member states on the global arena. One success story I'd like to mention is the Net Zero Compatible Innovation Initiative that we've done together with the European Commission and India. And it's a question of gathering thousands of concrete innovations that could make a huge difference in reducing the emissions of greenhouse gases. 12 gigatons. For me, that is what we will continue to do.
Good. How will you balance your work within Sweden, within Europe, and of course internationally when it comes to global climate action?
Well, again, as I said, I think that what we need to do is to build on what we have achieved so far. And Sweden has been, both bilaterally and internationally, on the forefront, pushing the agenda with a lot of concepts. The avoided emission framework is another concept that actually puts a climate positive label on innovations. So if we put them into the market, they will have a potential of reducing the greenhouse gas emissions to a certain extent, and that will be on the label, together with the, of course, economic and business opportunities for that innovation as such. We need to increase our collaboration with the progressive member states of the European Union, and bilaterally with the key future nations like India, for instance.
Okay. Bringing this back to India, what are the future programs you would like to launch, Robert, now moving forward?
Well, I think that we have strengthened our collaboration with India. And what we see now today, and I'm particularly pleased here and now to announce a brand new program, a joint initiative called Collaborative Industrial Research and Development Program, focusing on electrical smart grids. And this is a program with a total of 50 million Swedish crowns public money that my agency and the Department of Science and Technology, India, has come together on. And it will be then co-financed from the other actors with the same amount. So it's a total of 100 million Swedish crowns in that program. And the press release is just about to go public. So I'm very pleased and thrilled. And that is a major concrete steps. We have moved from words to action once again. And I'm pleased with that and my fantastic collaborators at the agency.
Okay, thank you very much, Robert. I think this is a fantastic launch you're doing today, Robert. And this will go out public within right now after this call, I suppose.
Yeah, more or less so, yeah.
More or less, yeah. So please look into this opportunity. It's a great opportunity to contribute and to look into getting more support for moving and develop the situation and the work with the Sweden-India agency on this special sector. And thank you, Robert, very much for your insights. It's nice and interesting to hear your ambitions. Have created a success for the last 10 years. You're taking that, moving that forward. I'm extremely pleased to have you here today in this discussion and looking forward to follow the work continuously for the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you.